This one for Tessa Johnson. Tessa, your first postseason experience in college, and obviously you got off to a great start. What was your mindset coming in? What was that like for you?
I mean, my mindset, it was like there's 3 quarters in the season, and I know I had to lock in this quarter, and it's big with, like, they were talking about the difference between regular season and then postseason, and I could feel the difference on the court. But my mindset is just lock in, trust my team, trust the process, and trust my coaches.
Chris?
Tessa, you got your first collegiate block today. How big a play was that? And then Ashlyn, could you weigh in on her block skills?
I was just trying to be like Ashlyn Watkins.
She okay. Yeah.
Pete. Hey, Ashlyn. What did they do early to kind of frustrate you guys, and how did you get past it and get to the point where, you were able to get in your rhythm and advance?
I don't think it was necessarily them frustrating like us. I feel like it was on us. But we just came back. We knew what we had to do. We knew that we had to win this game, and we just came at it like we wanted to win, really.
Another one for Pete.
Tessa, you had that stretch in the second quarter, I guess, where you helped the team kind of push the lead out. Were you just kind of, I don't know, just ready for that moment?
Yeah, I mean, I was just playing the game, and my teammates did what they had to do, and the ball found me, and I just shot it.
Here in the front.
Tessa, I think you guys had 10 turnovers in that first quarter, but then we were able to cut out the turnovers in the last 3 quarters. What did you guys do on offense to kind of clean things up and be able to convert on those possessions?
We were trying to go back to how we played in regular season, and I mean, we were just playing basketball. It wasn't the greatest basketball, but we were finding our teammates and trying. I know they were denying the wings, but we had to adjust to it.
Any other questions for the student athletes? All right, ladies, you can be dismissed back to the locker room. Thank you. Now we'll take questions for Coach Staley. Pete?
Dawn, I'll go off what Tessa just said. Was it not the greatest basketball out there that you saw?
I mean, it's postseason play. Texas A&M were really playing to increase their chances of getting into the NCAA tournament, and I think they did that. I mean, with us, it's our first tournament game, and with this team, and you don't know how they're going to respond to it. I don't think they met the moment, especially in the first quarter. And then slowly we started playing the way we needed to play, and then Texas A&M started just forcing us to do things that we didn't want to do. So yes, they had a lot to do with it, but we also had a lot to do with self-inflicted wounds. So hopefully we knock the rust off. We can get back to some better basketball.
Chris?
You mentioned not knowing how some of the young players would respond. Were you surprised that Tessa came in as poised and confident as she did?
No. I mean, Tessa's solid. Like, she's very predictable. She can score the ball. I mean, she scored a lot of points in high school, and sometimes you don't think that transfers over, but with her it does. I mean, she's a floor spacer. She can get to the rim. She's got a nice pull up. Like she can score in 3 levels, and she does a good job of keeping the defense off balance because they really don't know what she's doing. Her head is up. She looks like she's going to pass it a lot, but she finds a way to stop on the dime, to pull up. She's been playing well. It's not how she's playing. It's just the amount of older players in front of her that also play well. So it decreases her playing time. But now that we're in postseason, some of the novelty of our starting lineup will will wear off, but the novelty of her being able to give us the kind of minutes that she gave us today is, I mean, she's primed to have, you know, a good postseason.
Here in the front.
Dawn, I think you assisted on 15 of your first 19 baskets as a team. I know the turnovers are one thing to look at, but the ball seemed to be moving pretty well on the offensive side. What did you like on that end and in terms of the ball movement of your team today?
I mean, that was one of the keys, to move the ball. I mean, you know, granted, we did assist on 20 of our 29 baskets. We just couldn't get enough of that, you know, because the turnovers got in the way. But I like that about our team. That is something that we've been working on and we made our team aware of throughout the season. So I was happy for them. I did tell them that at the end of the game. But I mean, the 24 turnovers are a killer. I mean, it didn't, you know, it didn't shoot us in the foot as bad as it could. But I will say, if we play like this in the semifinals, that'll be our last game here in Greenville.
Pete?
Yeah, Dawn, kind of sort of off that as well. Is there, I mean, this is such a unique format, such quick turnaround. Is there a lot or anything you can do, or do you just have to have them rely on what they've done most of the regular season?
Yeah, there's not much time. We'll have a shoot around tomorrow. We'll try to get in the work that we need to get in. I mean, nothing's going to be live. So we do have to rely on the habits that we form, not the postseason habits, but the regular season habits, and hopefully we can get back on, you know, on the good side of basketball, the good side of good basketball.
In the back, Corey.
Hey, Dawn, and I guess another piggyback question off of that, is it easier to, I guess, emphasize taking care of the basketball when you do turn it over like you did, but you came out with a win? Is it easier to get the ladies to lock back in?
I mean, this whole season has been learning lessons through winning. Like, I mean, yes, we won a lot of basketball games, but there were a lot of things that we need to work on, a lot of deficiencies that we need to work on, and this team has responded time in and time out, and they're going to have to respond now that is win or go home situation. So I look forward to them, you know, and this dynamic of this basketball team as we live to see another day, and hopefully we can play better. Like, we got to play better in order for us to win.
Chris?
I asked the players, so I'll ask you, what did you think of Tessa's block?
What block? I missed it. No. I mean, it was a good block. I mean, Tessa's a big guard, and I would say she probably lacked confidence in defense before she got here, and especially when we started practicing and the emphasis that we put on it, she lacked confidence in it. But the more and more she plays, the more and more she sees herself doing some great things out there on that side of the basketball, the more confidence she's gaining, and the more times that she's putting herself in a position not only to get a block, I mean, but she gets deflections. She's in great defensive position. So I'm just happy for her. I'd rather take all the other stuff in and around the block shot because that's going to be probably 95% of who she'll be on the defensive side of the ball.
Take a couple more. We'll start in the back.
Dawn, you talked yesterday or a couple days ago about the tournament being here in Greenville, and just as someone who advocates so strongly for this game continuing to grow, every time you come to Greenville and see this tournament continuing to grow, how rewarding is that for you?
It's great. I mean, you know, the people in this building are, you know, super kind and hospitable. I do think this is an attractive city for fans. I do think it's advantageous to us because we're just right up the street. There's no doubt about that. But we also we draw a large crowd, and I've been in buildings in which there's not a whole lot on the first day or the second day. I mean, the quarterfinals were great today, and I think they're gonna be great throughout the entire day. And then I think the semifinals are gonna be more than today, and then the finals will be more than tomorrow. So I think it's great. Our tournament is growing from an attendance standpoint. I think I saw the curtains up yesterday. The curtains were gone today. And I think that's the growth. You can see that just in that instance. And then, now that we're in the semifinals, you'll see even more people fill the arena for us and against us. And I think that's a great appearance for our game and our tournament.
We'll take one more. Pete?
Dawn, kind of a question on freshmen. There are a whole bunch of amazing freshmen in this game right now. Joni thought it was because there are more eyes on the game, so we're seeing, but you've got a couple of them too. People talk about Malaysia, but it seems like Tessa, she has a really strong basketball IQ and is so steady, a steadying force for you guys out there that, freshmen usually aren't that way.
Yeah, we got the best of both worlds. You got an exciting player like Malaysia who just continually gets better on both sides of the basketball, and then you have Tessa who probably hasn't got as much of an opportunity to play consistently. Whether she did have a couple of injuries that slowed her progress down a little bit, but now that she's a lot more healthy. I feel very, very confident in both of them. Both of them, played a lot of minutes for us. I don't, it's going to be helpful for them to play for us. Powell played a lot of minutes today. Raven played a lot of minutes today. So anytime that we can get them on the floor and they're doing well and building confidence, is only going to strengthen our team.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.